morning, dear travelers. This is Vera from Firebird Tours, and I welcome you in Moscow. Most probably your first touring day in the capital of Russia will start with a tour of Kremlin, which is understandable, and we decided to follow the same route and to give you a tour of the cathedral square of the Moscow Kremlin. Well, we decided to start over here just in order to give you a good panoramic view. This historic museum alley that way will lead you to the Red Square, and in order to get to the entrance and to the ticket office to get inside of the Kremlin territory, you will need to go along this way, along the Kremlin wall. This is Alexandrovsky Garden, and you will get straight to the ticket office. It's in the middle of the Kremlin walls. You won't miss it for sure. So I suggest us to start. So once you enter the Alexandrovsky Garden, that's how the territory along the Kremlin wall is called. You will see eternal flame dedicated to the memory of the Second World War, and we got a chance to witness a little bit for a very short time the changing of guards, which happens here every hour. So you may see it here as well. Also by the eternal flame, right after you will see the monuments to the cities which deserved the status of the city's heroes because of their participation in the Second World War. So we see Leningrad, the former name of St. Petersburg, Kiev, the capital of Ukraine right now, Minsk, the capital of Belarus, Stalingrad. I'm sure you know about the battle under the Stalingrad, Sevastopol, which is the city port in Crimea, at the Black Sea, and many more. So as you see, we've been walking along this road. It's quite wide, along the Kremlin wall, and this is the ticket office. As you see, you cannot miss it. Modern building. I would like to drop your attention that Kremlin has a day off, and it's Thursday. When it comes to the working hours, in high season, it's Kremlin works from 9:30 to 6, and in winter it works from 10 till 5. So please also know that, and that the ticket offices close usually like 30 minutes before the closing time. So let's get inside and get 2 tickets and explore the Kremlin territory. Здравствуйте, 2 билета, пожалуйста, на архитектурную, на Соборную площадь. Ой. So the ticket price for adult is 500 rubles, and we are not getting any ticket for the video shooting because it's absolutely free, of course, without special equipment, and for the photos as well. But that comes only one second. But this comes only to the open air territory, so only inside the Kremlin walls. If you would like to shoot or take pictures, a video shoot or take pictures inside the museums, of course you will need to pay a separate admission. So as you see, the ticket that we've got for 500 rubles, it's only the ticket to the Cathedral Square and the open territory inside the Kremlin walls. If you would like to go to the museums like Armory Chamber, you will need to get a separate ticket, which is 700 rubles for one ticket for adult. Actually, if you're planning to go only to the Armory Chamber, you can get a ticket only to the Armory Chamber, even though it's located inside the Kremlin walls, but there will be a separate entrance through the different tower, and you will get only to the Armory Chamber, but not but you won't be able to go to the territory of the Kremlin. So if you would like to visit both, you need to know that, you need to think about it in advance and to get all of the tickets right away, because there are no ticket offices inside, of course. Okay, I'm ready. So here, this is the entrance. You will need to go along the bridge to enter the Kremlin. The Kremlin wall, we had to go through the security check. So we've been screened a little. Along with the ticket, you also get a map where you can see what sites you can visit. Which sites you can visit, let me show it to you. So this is a plan of Moscow Kremlin. So you can walk like pretty much everywhere here, and that's what we are planning to do. The word Kremlin means fortress inside a city. With the course of history, Kremlin has been a defensive structure, royal residence, and for many people, Kremlin is a symbol of the historical and military glory of Russia. During the years of Soviet power, the architectural ensemble of the Moscow Kremlin suffered greatly. 28 buildings out of 54 structures no longer exist. During the Second World War, the Kremlin was disguised in order to avoid its destruction. In 1991, the Kremlin became the residence of the President of Russia. Right now, it's also a museum that you can visit during your stay in Moscow. Everybody are so handsome. I like men in the uniform. So this tower is called Trinity Tower. This is the one that we entered, and right here on this square we can see State Kremlin Palace. That's where all of the state concerts are held, like, you know, for the big national holidays, and sometimes even our popular singers can, I don't know, rent it and give a concert right here at the State Kremlin Palace. Plus, children also can visit it for the New Year concert, which is held here, well, only for children. But let's get closer to the Cathedral Square, and we will talk about all of the cathedrals over there. We are at the Cathedral Square of the Kremlin territory, and I would like us to start with this cathedral, very beautiful to my opinion. For 6 centuries, Assumption Cathedral has been the national and religious center of Russia. Grand princes were set here for reign, tsars were crowned here, emperors coronated, Thanksgiving services were held here for the successful military campaigns, tsars' decrees and statements were declared at this cathedral. So all of this important to the country, events were held at this cathedral. It's not prohibited to shoot inside, unfortunately, but we will try to find maybe some pictures so you can see the interior. But of course, it's better to come here in person and see everything with your own eyes. cathedral that I would like to explore with you is called Archangels Cathedral, and it's one of the most unique cathedrals in the whole ensemble on the Kremlin territory. This is the place where representatives of the ruling dynasties Rurik and Romanov were buried till the 17th century, till the 18th century, as we already spoke with you during the video of Peter and Paul's fortress. After the death of Peter the First, all of the emperors and empress were buried in St. Petersburg at the Peter and Paul's Cathedral. Also, in this cathedral, all of the grand princes used to go and pray before leaving for war and hoping to impetrate the moral courage for deeds. Let's go closer a little bit. No, waiting. Okay, now we can go. This cathedral was constructed in 1505, 1508, only 3 years, which is again impossible to me, sounds impossible, by Italian architect Aloisio Novi. It's truly beautiful and absolutely amazing inside. I've already been there during my previous visits to Moscow. As you can see, even by the frescoes at the entrance, they're still here. This cathedral is like, what, 500 years old? And you can still see the images of the, well, religious events. And it's all the same inside. Absolutely, I don't know, gorgeous and amazing. So Annunciation Cathedral is one of the oldest monuments on the Cathedral Square, and its reach of works of art of the Kremlin. This cathedral was built in the end of the, can you imagine, 15th century, in like 1483 or something like that. Annunciation Cathedral has got a very important role in the history of Russian art of building, because it was constructed by the Pskov architects, and while most of the new residence buildings were erected by the Italian architects. This cathedral is very elegant and not too big, what corresponds to its role of a private chapel of the Grand family. What a beauty! So, Armory Chamber, it originated as the Imperial Arsenal in 1508 and held and stored all of the, Imperial's weapons, jewelry. Right now it's a home to the Russian Diamond Fund, and Armory Chamber surely holds a unique collection, and the highlights of this collection is the imperial crown, the monarch's cap, and the throne of Ivan IV, or Ivan the Terrible. So it's definitely a museum to visit. Please well, find time to include a visit to the armory chamber during your visit to the Moscow Kremlin, and just in Moscow. Let's go further. Oh, no. Actually, this is the palace where our current president works. That's where his office is. As long as I know, of course, I cannot assure you that this is the proper information. His office is on the 3rd floor. Tsar Bell. You need to wait in order to take a picture with it. I'm pretty sure this is the spot to touch it, and make a wish. I just did something extremely touristic. We just took a look at the Tsar Bell, but next to it is a Tsar cannon. It was made in 1586, and it's a piece. It's a monument of the Russian artillery art, and it was mostly a symbolic impact because it was never used in wars, in any battles. So that's why it's just standing right now on the grounds of the Kremlin. So dear friends, thank you very much for watching. We have visited today the Kremlin territory with the cathedral square. So we've been to Assumption Cathedral and Annunciation Cathedral and Archangels Cathedral. I highly recommend to visit Armory Chamber if you get to the territory of the, inside the Kremlin walls. We are about to exit the territory. The thing is that you can exit it through the Spassky gates, the most, iconic symbol of Moscow, most probably. This is the way only to exit the territory. You cannot enter here. So that's what we are planning to do. Well, it's been a great tour. I enjoyed it a lot. It's a very energetic place. It's a very historic place and important to the history of Russia. I'm feeling good. And well, again, thank you very much for watching. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and next week, can you guess which site will be the topic of the next week's video? Please let us know in a comment. Thank you very much.